What's you said the 10.5% number of the land you can make human grade grains out of? What's that number just in the United States? For a
I don't need a microphone. I don't have the breakdown. Those are worldwide numbers. I don't have the breakdown for the United States.
Okay, and then I guess I was wondering how those proteins that you can only get through meats. How can you say something more about how important those are versus the ones you can get through other methods? Or
what I can do is repeat and try to reemphasize what I've tried to say, and that is, if you're a healthy adult and you lack those particular proteins, it's probably not going to affect you because you've already reached adulthood, you've gone through the developmental stages. What I'm saying is you can't sustain a culture at this level of health we have in our nation with no meat, because it's going to impact your infants in your childhood development. It's going to impact the aged and the affirmed before it impacts a healthy person. And there are certain impacts on the health of the genetics through a period of generations that some of those lack of proteins may not occur until 2 or 3 generations down the road as far as the healthy adults are concerned. But you're clearly going to hurt the younger individuals in the culture and the infirmed and elderly. Does that make sense?
So
does that answer your question better?
Yeah, can you say it one more time? It impacts like 3 generations down. Like it
No,
impacts.
I'm saying some proteins can have an impact on genetics,
okay,
and degrade the genetics to where you really wouldn't measure it for a while. It's kind of like certain chemicals that can come through soils from excessive fertilizers and things of this, pesticides, herbicides coming through your vegetable plants. Which is another thing that, if you plant too many vegetable-type plants too close to one another, you're going to have massive pesticide problems. But some of those things at a very, very low level aren't going to impact the healthy adult, whereas they would impact the young and the infirm, and also other chemicals that wouldn't necessarily impact the individual, but can degrade the quality of the genetics over a period of generations, to where it does become a measurable impact over a longer period of time.
I'm not going to respond to that, but I would like to talk about the health issue. I mean, I think there's a big difference between animal and plant-based diets in terms of health, and I just want to read something here about the link between animal-based diets and cancer. Human epidemiological evidence indeed corroborates the link between animal-based diet and cancer. For example, this one study showed enhancement of ovarian cancer with dairy consumption in Swedish women. Another study showed strong association between animal protein intake and breast cancer in Italian women. And another study showed a tight positive relationship between meat consumption and colorectal cancer. And then he talks about another study in 1999 demonstrates an approximate halving of colon and prostate cancer risk among vegetarians. This other guy documented the disease burden exerted by 7 major diseases on the healthcare system directly related to meat consumption. One of the reasons, there's a lot of controversy about this, but these are some studies that clearly have been done. If you read a book on cancer, which is called Living Downstream by Sandra Songraber, she talks about how we're all exposed to a lot of chemicals, and one idea is that a lot of these, like pesticides and carcinogens that are in the environment are fat soluble. They basically are absorbed in fat and they're carried in fat tissues. So if you have a diet which is high in fat, animal fats, you're going to be taking these chemicals into your body, and we all have them. I mean, basically we're all exposed to them, but one pathway in which these chemicals get into you is by consumption of animal fats. And that's one idea as to why perhaps, high-fat diets lead to more cancer.
That is true, because your body retains those carcinogens and they build up.